Hey guys, it's DPSI. So just a quick warning, I'm a little bit coughy today, but I took a cough drop, so hopefully I won't be coughing too much during this video. Okay, so anyways, really quick. All right, so stall. So I was feeling a little bit nostalgic this week, thinking back to the more stally meta that used to run Advance Wars with more stally maps and just was more viable back in Global League. And in particular, I was thinking of this one player who initially, I think his first alt that we know of is Wood, is the name, just the alt was named Wood or like Wood O. And yeah, I mean, like ultra stall player. He would do things like deny income with arty locks and just really bully people. We always got the feeling that he was like truly like a 1400, but his alts would always like match up against 1200 and lower because he kept making new ones, and he would just like force stall into the games. So I wanted to like try playing like that just to see what it's like. And so here's the result. The name of the alt is called Stall Wars, the last Wood alt. Just to pay homage. Okay, so the map is like not very stall, I don't think. The airport is very forward. It's like two base plus one airport versus one base, one airport. Kind of heavy on offense, I think. Especially with this forward airport, you can really do a lot of damage by going deep here if you start winning, as long as you get the airport, which can be denied. So I went with Hawk. Eagle was also an option I was thinking about, but went with Hawk here up against Von Bolt, which is like kind of the anti-stall matchup, kind of the most aggressive CO in tier 1. So that in mind, let's click through some turns. Let's see. First vehicle is a backwards artillery, like from the back base. Yeah, so there's that. I didn't really have a plan with it, so I think this is actually just like a bad vehicle build. Moves up with the second artillery to do double arty on the 2-base side, and then arty on the 1-base side. So already I'm like building pretty weird in order to try it out. Okay, so my opponent goes heavy on vehicles on the 1-base side. Calmly respond with our anti-air. Get my airport safely, which is a nice pickup. And then I do an interrupt here with the idea of putting the artillery behind it to long-term deny this city is the plan, just like what Wood would do. So the city remains denied. I deny this city, which is something that Wood would probably not do. Okay, so I mess up here. I didn't really see what he was gonna do here. I'm like, I'm not putting full effort into these games yet because they're, on an alt account and John's and all that. So he goes deep here. I didn't really see this infantry over the mountains to 2-hit KO on B-Copter on airport, which shuts me down pretty hard. But it is my 2-base side, so it's like I'm gonna win eventually as long as I don't lose extremely hard. So I just need to be patient and like slowly repel this attack. As long as I keep spamming tanks out of here, I'll win eventually. So there's my counterattack. So yes, things are a little sloppy on my 2-base side, but on my 1-base side, I'm like pretty calmly responding. Like the main danger here is that I lose my comm tower, which would be a bit of a disaster. So I already locked my own comm tower and just sort of sit back, which is gonna allow him to take that city. balling up here. See, things are already looking better here just by spamming out tanks and then you know, like repelling the, because it's too deep, it's too close to my own bases, so it doesn't work in the long run unless you like gain the airport or something crazy. Okay, so he kind of goes deep here, so I get to get a few free infantry. I even get a free shot on the B-copter, which is pretty like strongly winning. Looks like he manages to get the city flipped, which is bad for me, but sorry. I just win here because he just like goes too deep. So I take out a bunch of stuff. And at this point, like, I'm just strongly winning, and he's just kind of been attacking into me, so I just keep winning. There's the Von Bolt super. Yeah, kind of hurts, but like at least I have vehicles that can come in and like damage control. I think that I think the theme with this game is like I'm getting attacked into, and so you just kind of have to like fight back or else you just lose. So it's not exactly stall because both players kind of have to agree in order for the game to stall, and I'm playing a little bit too sharply, so like it looks like it's good to attack into me, but it's actually not. So at this point, like you can see I'm winning pretty handily. So the game's pretty much over. So he does one last attack here. And then resigns halfway through his turn. Not much to say here. Like, I think Triple Artie is like a little bit too aggressive of a stall opening because, as Rishi pointed out to me, like if you go too heavy on the indirects in the opening, your opponent like really wants to attack into you. So it's kind of inviting a non-stall game, strangely enough. So you kind of have to not go extremely heavy on the indirects, or else they just trade into you. And even if you win, like it's not exactly stall. So that's one game. So here's another game. This one got a little closer to stall. Let me check the Okay, that's all you need to see. So I picked Drake in tier 3, which I think is pretty heavy stall against Lash, which is kind of one of his worst nightmares. Kendall's also really great here. Okay, obvious moves. I kind of try to get these cities early. I guess it's kind of what you normally do, but I try to prioritize getting at least one on each side so that I'm not at an income deficit. Oh, I'm actually teal. I was like headed backwards. So I open artillery with the idea of like 2-hit KOing this capturing infantry after it finishes capturing. So yeah, you'll see here already shot infantry shot, and then this guy, although open from a city attack, has RD backup, artillery backup. So it's like it's kind of a trade, which is not good, but I think it's winning for me. So I mean, it's not good in the sense that like I want to stall, so I don't want to trade, but sometimes you just gotta win, you know. Okay, going heavy on tanks on my weak side so that so I can like not, I mean the idea is like I don't die on my weak side. I like invest heavily into it so that it naturally stalls on my 2-base side, and then on my 1-base side I like effectively stall. So that's kind of the idea behind that. Okay, nothing to see here. I get another infantry out of that. Like I'm trading infantry on my 2-base side is good for me, so that's great. Um, things are kind of boring on this side, so I move my tanks more to the center. Now I have 2 artillery on my 2 base side, and I have a pretty scary formation. Like everything about this to me screams like trade off infantry and try to get the HQ. So that's kind of like what my natural instincts are saying, and then like my stall instincts are trying to rebel against that. So we'll sort of see what happens here. Sort of a waiting turn here, and then heavy on tanks over here. I kind of mech up so I can bunker down. I get some like free hits, or some like technically winning hits with my tank here. Like it's exposed from the HQ, but I get a free arty strike if he goes after this tank, which he does. So I get to like trade into this tank, and like I have a bunch of first strikes on all these infantry. So it's like very strongly winning, although it's not stall. Oops. So over here, he kind of does a nice double attack where he splits the attention of my artillery. But I answer both threats of the city capture and the tank. So it's not so bad. Okay, don't get this, which is sad. But I'm pretty mech'd up here, which is good. Okay, and then over here, I sort of clean things up. That was not a wood move at all. Going after that artillery is not wood-like. So, you know, apologies to the viewers for that, but I literally can't help myself. So I get this kill, so now you can capture the HQ, which is not wood-like at all either, so oops. I did build a rocket, though, to, like, respond to the artillery. Like, excuse me, for, like, a long-term play. And then he just resigns here because HQ cap threat. I mean, the artillery out of the indirects are pretty out of position, but there's not much to do. Like, you can kill this tank, and then you have to interrupt with something. I just have a lot of stuff, so I mean, it's just kind of like a losing position. So resigning there is okay, but was it stall? No, because I capitalized on a winning position. So it's just winning. It's not exactly stall, so it kind of failed again. Okay, so here's another attempt at stall. Eagle versus Lash. So not exactly familiar with the tiers here, but that's cool. I base skip for B-Copter. It's kind of funny. Because I wanted to deny this capture, and like this is actually not an uncommon thing to do on this map. Is sometimes the funding works out so that you need to base skip for this infantry thing. Like I've seen it more than once, so that's like a common theme. First land vehicle artillery, as to be expected. That interrupt, not very wood-like at all. But I did get a free infantry, so yeah, not wood-like. Clear up all these infantry for freezers. Get this artillery, get this anti-air free for free. I'm just like taking stuff for free. He kind of has like a nice B-Copter tank duo here, which I have to answer. Or else I like lose some infantry. But yeah, I just took too many free dudes, so like I didn't stall it. This is the final turn, I think. And then resign. So the victory, or GG Cruiser, which is pretty funny. I appreciate the creativity there. But yeah, this was just like free dudes fest, so I just like I mean, like, not to fault the player, it's like it's hard to see it sometimes. It's just I took too many free dudes, so I didn't stall it. So So I might have to, I mean, like, I'm in the 900s now, so, like, I'll probably stop seeing as many free dudes pretty soon. But, like, I literally, like, can't help the reflex to take free dudes. Okay, let me get this sized up correctly. Okay. Okay, so lowest tier high funds. I go with Jake here. The idea is I had to like ask some people. I had to ask around like what's the best stall CO in tier 4, and people were saying Jake because of indirects. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. So I'm teal here. Pretty obvious move so far. First vehicle artillery, which backs up this capture eventually and also does some funny things. So he like goes for something nutty here. Instead of finishing the base capture, he sees the artillery is gonna lock his own comm tower, which is a good heads up play. But he like goes for the comm tower fast, and skips the base. And like that's pretty expensive because there's a lot of like value here that you're delaying by 1 turn by doing so. So it's kind of funny, but like it costs a lot in the long run, so probably not advisable, but pretty cute idea at least. Pretty fun thought. Because see, what it allows me to do now with my artillery is instead of locking the comm tower, I'll just lock this property, which even denies more income. At least like until he builds a tank, and then it's like, do I really want to stick around? And it's 1 tile out of my reinforcement path range, so it's like, probably not worth it, but the idea is there at least. Because he doesn't actually capture it, but he could have, I think. I don't think I stick around and get hit by a tank to interrupt that, but we kind of missed something in the lower right here. His first vehicle is actually a rocket, which is insane because I'm like, let's go, rocket time for me to build a rocket. Just because rockets are like pretty stall, right? But this is high fun, so it's kind of hard to stall. The idea with the rocket oh sorry oh my god, the idea with the rocket is to lock the comm tower just like I did to him. So like, cute idea, like kind of stealing from me and then trying it himself. So it's like a sign of a good player is like adapting, seeing new ideas and trying it out. That's so this person, Shaquille O'Neal, I mean, like, you know, rating, still figuring it out, but like that's a really good sign that they're learning from my openings and trying a variation. So props to them. So at this point, I kind of need to build tanks in order to shoo the rocket away, which is kind of lame because it's not stall, but like, gotta do what you gotta do. So at this point, I'm like within rocket range. So this particular move, like, I don't think I move plannered, but kind of saw what was going on. Basically, the idea here is like the tank, if the rocket fires on the infantry, then let's see. So if the rocket fires on the infantry, then the tank is within range to hit the rocket from above. So now this infantry has to come off and go here. But now I do rocket plus infantry, KO that infantry. And you'd have to commit this other infantry to that tile, actually. So it's actually not foolproof, but I thought it was. I mean, like, this is like a pretty complicated tactic for the 800 level. So here's their response. Attack there, finish capturing, and now they're kind of doomed. Because now this rocket is unshieldable. So tank hits rocket, which is fine because medium tank was built to repel this exactly. Actually dives here, which gives me enough for my CO power next turn, which is really helps me out, as we'll see. Double artillery here, so like this guy likes stall too, which is pretty fun. So that was from planes doing 8. Now I pop CO power, which is like maybe not optimal, but I kind of liked the idea of it. Medium tank one-shots now. Now rocket reaches rocket, so that kills. And now I get my comm tower as we desired. Do some pretty big dammy here. And Neo tank also not very stall at all, but like, why did I do that? It's not stall, but I guess it's just good, so sorry. Some trades, now medium tank trades here. So this is like kind of the same thing we saw before, where like I'm picking up free dudes with the idea that like once I pick up enough, I can just like turbo stall. But it just never happens because people resign too fast, which is like, you know, fair enough. So free dudes, nothing too much here. I pick up a bomber here with a fighter. And it does look kind of stall, but I'm winning pretty hard with like 50k advantage, you know, huge unit count lead. Missile build, which I respect and appreciate. But I kind of lose my patience and like see a rocket free shot and I just dive. So here's the response. Okay, and then their super hasn't been popped yet. But this is like not exactly stall, as I said, so I just win for free. Just kill some stuff. This is kind of a fun one. I use my Neo tank as a wall because the only thing that 2-hit KOs it is Neo tank, so the best they can do is anti-air on my rocket, which I can deal with because I have another rocket hitting one of the Neo tanks and then like 2 B-copters. So super, and then resign after no, they actually don't get the KO with Neo plus AA, which is what they were going for. So that's kind of an interesting thought because then Neo hits rocket and you could probably do like Artie on Forest to pressure the rocket, and then you're actually winning. Although I can still like trade out for the anti-air. So they have to build anti-air. So actually, yeah, okay, like this is probably losing for me. If they roll high for that. Okay, so kind of rocket spam, but like again, like rockets not exactly stall here because rockets didn't really stall here because like it's too easy to just dive on the rocket with, you know, low unit count due to high funds. Okay, and then here's the final one. This one's worth the ticket of admission, the price of admission. Okay, so I picked Grit in lowest tier high funds on what is this called? Dragon Blood. Okay, so I think the biggest problem with Grit here is like pre-deployed airport, and then it still feels like hard to spam out enough artillery. So like getting out enough artillery is kind of the priority. So you sort of have to get those out and sorry, get them set up, or else they don't win the game for you. So with that in mind, early T-Copter, because you can do stuff like go to the center where there's a lot of properties. They went early B-Copter, although they could have built more B-Copters, I think, this game. So this anti-air like chases the B-Copter all the way over here, which is kind of funny. Lots of artillery out. He sacked a tank into one, which probably not a good weak side idea, but like in a vacuum, that's not a bad thing to do. Kind of scary Neo tank approaching. But I think mega tanks are kind of Grit's worst nightmare in high funds. I actually built a bomber because it's like a good walling unit, and it answers the Neo tank sort of. So it's kind of funny. Ultra artillery here. And yeah, I like to see Neo tanks because already are like extremely efficient attacking into Neo tanks, but are pretty inefficient attacking into mega tanks, like I said. Okay, so I kind of pose here, and then something funny happens. They leave their one lab open, so I'm like, okay, well, they just CO powered, but they might CO power again if like I let them attack into my army. So I start doing this, and then capture, and then got to make my stuff go away so they can't sack into me for charge. And I'm pretty sure this guy did not know how the lab mechanic worked, because he like moves his next turn, he's like, ooh boy, free stuff. Moves all around, locks my base, locks my airport. He's like, okay, I guess I win for free now. And I can't tell you how funny it was to me. He like made this move and I was like live looking at the game, and then build a pipe runner, build another pipe runner, build a battleship, and then end the game. Just like the timing of him making this really ornate, very long move, and then me just going pipe runner, battleship, win the game. I just thought it was really funny. So, okay, stall. Was it stall? Yes, kind of. I just happened to like see a free HQ victory, so it could have been more stall, but you know, I'm not gonna like say no to a free HQ, right? Like I don't think Wood would say no to a free HQ either. So I think that's in the spirit of the challenge. So there's one more game that's like basically over. Let me show it really quick. Okay, everybody close your eyes. Close your eyes. Oh, wait, not, yeah, not, oh, keep your eyes closed. Oh. Okay, here's the replay. Okay, you can open them now. Okay, so Jake versus Rachel. Rachel also like another kind of stallish CO. This is Celeste. Make some moves. I do something funny and I like lock his airport just because I can. And it kind of like gives me some early game presence by like it allows my 2-base side to expand more quickly without having to build anti-air. So it kind of like forces no B-Copter. So I think on paper it's pretty cool. It delays the airport for 1, 2, 3, 4, like 3-ish turns. And in the meantime, I tank up pretty heavily and do arty stuff. Nothing really exciting happens over here. There's like a little exchange as he tries to put his arty close to me. I got a free shot, and then build a rocket just because it's like really well shielded, and you know, rocket is kind of the unit of the day. I do like some pretty careful shielding over here, and he kind of respects it, which is good for the stall. I take some properties. I build a recon to like try to get onto the rocket if he leaves it open. So here is power is like pretty close to charged, and I had to do something very kind of panicky to put this infantry on this tile, in order to prevent the infantry 2-hit KO to kill this guy, and then tank sack into tank. So tank hit artillery, tank hit tank, and then he might get super if he also sacks this tank, which I'm not prepared for. So like an unprepared for Rachel super can just end the game immediately. So I had to like prevent this from happening and kind of put my infantry in a weird position. So he makes his move, gets a free shot, which is like whatever, at least you don't get a surprise super. So this turn is my prepare for Rachel super steel power turn. I get a bunch of free captures. This guy blocks that capture. Kill the tank. Free capture there. Nothing can interrupt that. And then here's my missile magnet up here. And I checked the solid move planner to make sure it worked. What I wanted to do, which was kind of like difficult to accomplish, I'd say, is like try to bait him into attacking me so that he would, like, he's almost at his super. So I want him to like use his super this turn because I'm ready for it. So I kind of want to like leave this stuff slightly open so he thinks he can like, you know, B-copter, tank on recon, tank on tank, and then that's enough to charge a super, and then he supers and then goes all the way in, and then I just win. Which is, I even baited the bomber, which is like even better than I expected. Okay, and then yeah, super's charged. Here 2 missiles hit the missile magnet, 1 missile hits the value magnet, which is like, you can't ask for a better super than this. Or, I mean, a worse super than this. So like, perfect direction by me. He goes pretty far in, moves all his indirects up, which looks a little scary. Until you realize that I also have my super. Okay, so this turn I kind of made quickly and it was like slightly inaccurate. But I one-shot the bomber with the super bonus, which is pretty sweet. I thought that was gonna sack the recon, but no beans. I wasn't really checking too carefully. So that's 2 one-shots because of the 80. Oh, I guess that guy survives due to the power bonus. This guy's like a little bit too unshielded. I probably should have had this guy on that tile so that the rocket or the artillery can't free the tank, which is, it just makes it slightly stronger, but this is still like completely winning. And then a bunch of dammy. And then this is the present turn. So, I mean, there's nothing to do, you know, game's over pretty much. I mean, the only thing you can hope for is like, you could do like this guy kills the recon, then maybe like rocket plus B-copter kills that guy maybe, and then that doesn't even like, that's not even a 5-5. It's like a 6-4 or something. Let's be generous and give him a 6-5. Like, he also built like only infantry this turn, anticipating the typhoon, which really hurts him here, because if he had like 3 tanks here, at least he can kind of regroup like 5 tiles back. But since they don't have any tanks at all now, like this is the only tank on the field and everything else is dead. So, and if you just look at the value, like, you know, 100,000 to 30,000, it's just like completely overwhelming. But he has big pockets, so like, you know, you're not gonna win by having a big bank. So if you're not gonna spend the money, you know. So yeah, this game's over too. This one went pretty stally, I'd say. Like, I would say especially, like, this turn looks pretty stally, and then, I mean, I had to eat the Rachel super, so, like, I had to back up. And then Panzer Hans went pretty deep and sort of ate the retaliation shot in response. So it's just like I can't retreat further than this basically. Um, so I just win due to overextension. So yeah, I mean about as stally as it'll get, but I think that as I get into like the 1100s, I'll probably even out against the 1100s, I'd say, because like I would say this is only like maybe 2 steps more stally than I actually play. So yeah, it's not like a huge change to my play style. But at the higher levels where people actually respect well-made walls, and I'll take my time to like make better walls, then we can like get into true stall territory. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Currently at 5 games, and still queuing 5, so I think I'll get there within a month or so, and probably have an update for you guys in a few weeks, I would imagine. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.